Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the breakthrough science of cellular energy. If you've ever wondered how to finally kick chronic fatigue to the curb from the inside out, well, you are exactly where you need to be. We've got some genuinely fascinating source material to go through today that completely flips the script on how we think about exhaustion and, frankly, getting older. So let's dive right in by tackling a super frustrating reality that I know so many of us face. Why doesn't extra sleep actually cure your exhaustion? You know the exact feeling, right? You wake up and you feel just as incredibly tired as when your head hit the pillow the night before. Well, our source research points out that when this happens, the problem isn't your crazy schedule, and it's not a bad mattress. It's actually your cellular biology. True energy production goes way, way deeper than just catching a few extra Z's. Okay. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to start with the root of human fatigue, unpack NAD+ and cellular energy, explore DNA repair and aging, discuss the NIAGEN breakthrough, and finally look at maximizing absorption through IV therapy. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the root of human fatigue, uncovering the microscopic causes of exhaustion. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that true vitality, it all begins in your mitochondria. You can basically think of these as the tiny, microscopic power plants operating inside your cells. They're constantly on the clock working to convert the food you eat into ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. Now, ATP is literally your body's chemical energy currency. You need it for, well, absolutely everything, from firing off complex neurons in your brain to just contracting your muscles during a quick workout. When these cellular power plants fail to operate efficiently, honestly, no amount of caffeine or extra downtime is going to fully restore your vitality. Moving right along to Section 2, NAD+ and cellular energy, the vital molecule that powers our biology. Meet our star player of the day, NAD+, which stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It's a vital coenzyme that's present in literally every single civet cell in your body. Think of NAD+ as your internal cellular energy grid. It acts as this completely crucial delivery mechanism, shuttling electrons back and forth between molecules so your mitochondria can actually produce that ATP energy we just talked about. Without NAD+, your body simply cannot convert the nutrients you eat into usable energy. It's a real game changer. Now, when your cells are firing on all cylinders, the biological equation of energy production is beautifully, almost elegantly simple. Step 1, nutrients from your diet enter the system. Step 2, NAD+ steps up to the plate as the electron transporter, basically keeping the metabolic gears turning. And Step 3, the mitochondria use all of that to successfully generate your ATP energy. It's this continuous, life-giving cycle. But here's the biological tragedy our sources highlight, and it's a big one: 50%. By the time you hit middle age, your naturally occurring NAD+ reserves have often plummeted by a staggering 50% compared to when you were younger. This severe drop-off really explains why folks getting older, or even those just dealing with chronic stress, experience such a profound systemic lack of physical energy. The crucial electron transporter essentially goes missing, and your ATP production just fundamentally falters. So that brings us to Section 3, DNA repair and aging. How our body's internal maintenance crew operates. I want you to imagine your body has a highly specialized 24/7 internal maintenance crew. They're called PARPs. See, human cells are subjected to continuous damage every single day. We're talking environmental toxins, UV radiation from the sun, just general daily stress. Well, PARPs detect and repair the breaks in your DNA strands. But here's the catch, and it's a major one. They are completely 100% dependent on NAD+ to function. When they spot damage, they consume massive amounts of NAD+ for fuel. So if your baseline NAD+ is already low because of your age, these PARPs are practically starved. And because of that, microscopic damage just begins to silently accumulate throughout your whole body. And similarly, we have sirtuins. Scientists actually refer to these as the guardians of the genome, which sounds pretty intense, right? They regulate biological health, they manage inflammation, and they coordinate cellular longevity. But, much like our PARP maintenance crew, these genome guardians sit there completely dormant without an adequate supply of NAD+ to kickstart them. If we want to preserve our muscle tone, protect our cognitive function, and keep our metabolism flexible as we get older, activating these sirtuins is basically non-negotiable. All right, moving into Section 4, the NIAGEN breakthrough, a scientifically backed blueprint for cellular restoration. According to the research, fixing this cellular energy crisis requires some highly targeted intervention. Enter NIAGEN. It's a patented, heavily researched form of nicotinamide riboside, which is essentially a super unique derivative of vitamin B3. You can think of NIAGEN like a highly efficient building block. It completely bypasses your normal metabolic bottlenecks, so the moment it enters your system, your cells readily absorb it and convert it directly into fresh NAD+. This gives your body exactly what it needs to synthesize more of this vital coenzyme and rapidly rebuild those depleted cellular reserves. And it's incredibly vital we support this system. Why? Because chronological aging, just getting older, actually isn't our only enemy here. Everyday lifestyle factors, things we pretty much all do, actively strain your repair enzymes. We're talking about high alcohol consumption, incredibly intense physical training regimens, chronic overeating, and even just poor, disrupted sleep schedules. All of these things rapidly accelerate the depletion of your NAD+ stores. Your daily habits have a massive impact on your cellular ecosystem, which makes supplementation a really foundational strategy if you're looking to extend your health span. Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, maximizing absorption through IV therapy, the gold standard for bypassing biological roadblocks. So, while oral precursors like NIAGEN are incredibly powerful on their own, we really need to zoom out for a second and look at how to maximize their biological absorption. See, traditional fluid and oral nutrient intake faces some pretty severe hurdles. Your digestive system acts like a massive roadblock. Gastric acids and liver filtering actually degrade a huge percentage of whatever you swallow. But IV drip therapy? It completely bypasses the whole gastrointestinal system. It delivers 100% bioavailability straight into your bloodstream, meaning it immediately floods your cells with hydration and all those vital micronutrients. Let's compare these approaches side by side. Dietary sources, things like milk or fish, offer very, very low bioavailability for NAD+ precursors. Good for baseline wellness, but that's about it. Now, oral supplements like NIAGEN provide moderate bioavailability, which is fantastic for sustained daily DNA repair support. But IV drip therapy? That gives you a 100% direct infusion. This perfectly explains why specialized wellness facilities use a synergistic approach. Clients will combine a daily oral NIAGEN routine for that sustained repair alongside regular IV therapy to perfectly prime the cellular environment. It ensures your body is perfectly hydrated and ready to actually utilize those building blocks. Ultimately, optimizing your physical longevity requires a truly comprehensive lifestyle strategy. There's just no single magic cure-all here. The science is crystal clear. To protect your mitochondria and activate those longevity genes, you need to rely on multiple pillars. We're talking about committing to consistent, high-quality sleep cycles, utilizing targeted nutritional science like NAGEN coenzymes, employing clinical hydration protocols like IV therapy, and making sure you're engaging in strategic physical exercise to really stimulate that mitochondrial density. I really want to leave you with this final thought for your own biological health journey. Tomorrow morning, when you're reaching for that second or maybe third cup of coffee, ask yourself, are you just treating the symptoms of fatigue, or are you actually fueling your cells for the future? By really understanding how your mitochondria generate energy and actively supporting that delicate process, you can take complete control over your own physiological optimization. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how to fuel your biology.